All right, it's a bit of a departure for us here, but as promised, me and Nolan are taking on McBee Dynasty.
Whoopee!
But we're staying in the Prophet family, and we stumbled on the McBee Dynasty, and we were obsessed. Well, Nolan started first.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I was watching Love Island as per usual, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up to the first episode of season 3 playing, and I was like, what is this? It looks so good. And then I told Mom, and she was like, my people on podcast have been talking about it, so we decided we should start it over.
So I'm Sunday, the pop culture professor. This is Nolan.
Hi.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cram in a bunch of recaps until we get all the way to season 3. This is season 1, episodes 1 through 5. If you're looking for a beat-by-beat recap, that's probably not what this is. We are going to just be talking about it and kind of give you our impressions, what we think these Temu Yellowstone folks.
Yeah. What do we call McNasty or what do we call
McDynasty. McBee Dynasty is what it was. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So the very first episode, the show is called McBee Dynasty Real American Cowboys is how they are billing it. Right. And so the episode 1 is Family Succession. We meet this family, okay? There is Steven Sr., and he has 4 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Jr., who is 28-ish, or sorry, season 1 came out in 2023, yeah?
Yeah, it came out in 2023, and I think he was 29 when it first started.
Yeah.
So now he's like 30, 31.
Right, but in these early episodes, he's the president, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Sr. is the president.
Yes, he's the one who started everything. So they're in Missouri.
Yeah.
They're in Missouri. They moved to Missouri. I'm not sure where they moved from. I guess we should have looked that up first.
No, because Steve says he's from this area because they hate him. They all hate these folks in this area.
Because they went in and he started buying up a bunch of land in this really small town in northern Missouri.
Yeah, so they're in Gallatin, Missouri. So Steve Sr. it's cattle, farm, and car washes, as we will learn that. But his 4 sons, Stephen Jr., 28, Jesse, 25, who is the pretty one.
Yeah, he does look good.
And he's giving like Casey Dutton, right? Is that the name?
From Yellowstone?
Yeah.
I don't watch Yellowstone.
And then there's Cole, that's 23, who is like the loud, dumb class clown. And then there is Braden, who is
we
20.
see for like 5 seconds in on one episode. So.
We don't see them a lot. So this, so this is like a family run farm. They have some outside help. There is a woman, Galena, we'll talk about her in a second, that she is the CFO, who is also 100% fucking Steve Sr. Then there is Tessa, who is what they call the fuel woman and the house manager or whatever.
She cooks all their meals, gets everything ready, gets all the gas and everything.
And this particular operation they have 250 employees, and they are trying to save their particular industry, their particular corner, by doing this like huge deal, $105 million. It all hinges on this one deal. If they don't get it done, then the farm and the cattle and all that stuff's going to go up.
Right, because they went and they opened a bunch of car washes to help like grow their business, to have a stable business, and then they leveraged the farm with the car washes to get the car washes open. So now they need this deal for $105 million to kind of stabilize them all out.
There's a really weird push and pull though, because they talk about how
they're about to be they're about to make $1 billion.
Right. But then they also talk about how in debt they are and how they've bet the farm, and if they don't get this deal, and they are spending money like it is their full-time job. They are trips. They have condos in Kansas City and Nashville. And
me and Mom have this thing where we really stress out whenever we watch people spend a lot of money, because it's just like, where is this money coming from? But in this scenario, it's like, really, where is this money coming from?
Where is the money coming from? They have borrowed a ton of money. They are opening car washes as another revenue stream quicker than they can, that they can get it together. And so this whole thing is hinging on this big, huge deal. So in this first episode, they're kind of sort of just like...
Also, we forgot to mention that Galena is a mail-ordered bride from Russia.
She calls herself that. Let's say that.
She says that she came on a fiancé visa, a.k.a. known as a mail-ordered bride from Russia.
Not for Steve Sr., though. So... she married a man, had a daughter. She has a 21-year-old daughter, and they're divorced. And she came to, quote, work for the McBees. And then shortly after she came to work,
He said like a month and a half.
right, they started sleeping together, and now she owns 10% of the company, and she is in charge of this giant deal. It's a lot of exposition, but like just bear with us because you'll follow along. And if you've watched it, you understand how quickly the dynamics start to shake out, like who's who. And one of the major through lines is the boys are all fighting for first place. Who's going to inherit the farm? Who's daddy's favorite? Who is teacher's pet?
And also, too, which we were a little confused, too, because I thought when I woke up and was, like, watching the season 3, episode 1, in the intro, it says that they have this, like, big false insurance claim. So I did a little bit of research, and it actually even happened before the show even started, that they had this big, like, false insurance claim from 2018 to 2020 when it was filed. So there's like all that. It's like in the intro, like the theme intro or whatever. So it's like it's that, but then also they're talking about $1 billion and also they're needing all this money, and it's just like really confusing.
It is. And so what we sort of sussed out was that they are leaning really heavy on the shady business of it. That the intro, there's like these newspaper clippings, which are not real, that indicate that they are doing some shady business or they have been involved in this, which they have. If you guys have watched the episodes or y'all are caught up, you know that Steve Sr. is in some sort of active indictment. However, we do not know that yet. We have only seen season 1, and we are only going to talk from the perspective of what we've seen. So if you need to leave us a comment or if you want to send us any kind of DMs or leave us a review, remember, we are taking it episode by episode and we are not there yet. Of course, you can find us on social media at Tecopino Pod, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. And of course, if you have anything terrible to say, always send it to Jeff at Tecopino Pod. He loves it. So,
and I was going to say too, so they're self-funding all the car washes right now. And like Steve Sr. mentions that like they could lose it all in 6 to 10 months if they don't get this deal. So it's very, very really hinging on this deal that Galena is making. And also we get introduced into Steven Sr.'s other girlfriend.
Right. That happens. Is that episode 1 that we meet Brooke? Okay. Yep. So there's Brooke. So he was married for 28 years and recently divorced. There is some overlap between him and Galena's relationship and the wife, I believe. So the internet sleuths have done this math and they said that they have been together or known each other or friends for about 18 months. But in season 1, he's only been divorced for about
like a year and a half, I think. Yeah.
So there is some overlap. And at first, they are not super forthright about Galena and Steve Sr.'s relationship.
Yeah, well, until they like fast forward to them in bed the next morning and just kind of drop the bomb on us.
Yeah, we meet her as the CFO, and we follow them as they are doing like real cowboy shit. There's like a controlled burn in this first episode where the boys are like the Three Stooges out there trying to like figure it out. Tessa, who was given real like Teeter vibes. If you guys know Yellowstone, she's given this real she has this Texas accent.
Well, I was thinking that she was kind of giving like if Parent Trap, the mom from Parent Trap, the nanny from Parent Trap that is with the dad on the vineyard. She was giving me those vibes, but like Southern, It's important to know too that the boys are all competing with each other for their dad's favor and that their dad pits them against each other. And it is also important to know that he is very anti-marriage. And this whole thing between him and Galena and then him and his younger girlfriend, Brooke, is that he claims, you know what? I have never said that I'm ever going to be in a relationship. Whatever these women think about it, that's on them. I've told them. He's like set a boundary where Galena can't spend more than 3 nights at his house and all this stuff because he's really like, I guess, because he said that's his like punishment for what he did in his marriage, that he'll never get married again, which is a cop-out, obviously.
Exactly.
But because he's like, I'll never do it again. That's my punishment. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, but he is very much reaping the benefits of having a living girlfriend with Galena and a very hot younger girlfriend with Brooke, but pretending that he has been forthright with them. And that'll come up in a little bit in a couple of episodes too. We'll talk about that, how those two things kind of cross over. But they also talk a lot about Mother Nature. And there's been floods, there's been droughts. And so the stakes are really high. Like
They've had a rough couple years before this year, or in 2023. Yeah, they had a rough couple years before that. So they're kind of struggling to really get back to where they need to be, like money-wise.
It is also important to know that Steve Jr. was on another reality show called Joe Millionaire.
Did we ever figure out if he was a millionaire or if he was the poor one? Because it was it was two guys, and one of them is a millionaire and one of them's like a poor guy. And like the thing is, like they have a bunch of girls like The Bachelor, and they come in and they try to figure out who's the rich one and who's the poor one.
I think he was the rich one. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I think so. But the girl he is with in this show, in this version, in McBee Dynasty, is the girl that he met on the show, and they are still together. Steve Sr. does not like her.
Yeah, her name is Kyla, which is a very...
And they've been dating for a while, and the pretty one, Jesse, he has been dating his high school sweetheart for 10 years. And then Cole, who is the sort of like fuck up of the bunch, he has been dating this woman for 5 years. They are not official.
None of them. Well, I mean, the middle one, Jesse, he's official with his girlfriend, but their dad's marriage and their whole thing has really effed them up.
Yes.
Like, none of them want to commit. None of them really want to say, like, oh, I'm getting married. None of them really want to commit to their girlfriends, even though they've been together forever.
Well, and because their dad is so anti-marriage that when they lean into it, when they feel good about the relationship, when they feel like they want to do it, their dad is really mocking and is really like, oh, boys, you don't want a woman to control you. A good woman will ruin a family. And so they are really toiling under the shadow of his feelings about marriage and women, but also trying to impress him, but also trying to curry favor, but also trying to have a real life. And so when we meet Galena, we understand that she owns 10% of the company, which I said that, but they said this number many times. They are $50 million in debt. And they are trying to get this venture capitalist to invest $150 million in there, and
105. But I mean, still a lot of freaking money. But
and so we are meant to understand that the stakes are super, super high for this, and so that tension is backed up from everything they do, except they do not perform like they are $50 million in debt.
No, they do not.
They are out juking all the time. They are spending money on trips and women and concerts, and it's just very, very stressful, yes.
Like, for us, even watching is stressful for them.
And, Steve Sr. portends to be this, like, good old boy, down to earth. He's one of the people. I think at one scene he comes in riding on a horse with no shirt on.
Yes. And then I was going to say, too, so, like, they're in this small town that they've bought up a lot of land in and created a bunch of jobs, but they also have a lot of people that are out to get them, is what they say. So in the first episode, somebody comes in and steals one of their trucks, and they have cameras.
This is so stupid.
I mean, they have cameras, and they go on like a citizen's arrest mission, where they go try to figure out who stole their truck, and like go on the land and ask the guy if they can look through their stuff. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, sure." So Steve Jr.'s like, "That's all." Or Steve Sr.'s like, "Well, that's all I need."
Yeah, I mean, so it's like very performative, very much this. Yes, we're the boss of the world, and we're going to take care of this. We got some vigilante justice. Except, oh, you know what? Good enough for me, sir. Thanks. Goodbye.
Yeah, and then too, the sketchy thing too, bring it back to like the money situation, is that they were like, well, we already have so many insurance things filed and around that they can't report, but they couldn't report the truck going missing because there's too much up in insurance, like jail or whatever. So it's like, what? You're down in money, but you can't report your truck being stolen?
And that's important because later, which is in a future that Nolan and I don't know yet, but they are embroiled in some kind of indictment or some kind of trouble. And so him dropping these little lines like, well, we're about out of insurance claims, or, oh, I can't do any more insurance, is very, very insidious, because are you breaking the law, sir, or are you not? Right. Are you doing something shady, or are you not? And
they also say they get chosen for every single audit.
Yes.
They get chosen for every single, check or everything like that. And I'm like, well, maybe it's not people out to get you. Maybe you're, doing something you shouldn't be doing.
So. And like Nolan said too, the public and the town hates them. When they go places, they're like, fuck you, McBee, fuck off.
And is it because that they created, they bought a bunch of land, or is it because they're doing shady shit on the land that they bought up, you know? So it's like...
Yeah, and that remains to be seen. But it also, too, because the way Steve Sr. talks about his love of the land, but also to his commitment to passing it down, but also how he treats these boys like they are his best friends, and he has no boundaries with them. I'm fairly certain he probably cheated on their mom.
Oh, for sure.
I think he probably cheated with Galena. That was the last straw. We don't know that to be for sure. But
well, they've only been divorced for a year and a half, and then him and Galena have been, doing whatever a month after they met. So it's and she owns 10% of the company. They obviously met a long time ago.
And Galena is age appropriate, I believe.
Yeah,
so Steve Sr.
sure.
I think he's like 56. I think Galena is in and around that same time. It's hard to tell because she does not wear makeup, even when she is
and
fully
she's got that good
up.
Russian skin. She's real tight.
Even when she's fully dressed up, her hair's never done, her makeup's never done. Like she's really just like out here, raw dog in her face, in the world. I think I wrote Walmart Yellowstone here, but it is also too, whenever Steve goes charging in to find the culprits or find the perps that were stealing his things, they stole a lot of stuff. They stole some trucks, they stole some equipment.
Yeah, it was $100,000 worth of stuff. And Steve Sr. says that could have went to 401k or healthcare. And we're like, so are you not giving them 401ks and healthcare? Yeah. Or are you just saying that it could be extra? Like, what are you talking about?
Stephen Jr. sits in the car. He's like, nah, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all handle that. Y'all go on in and research this out. I'm gonna sit right here.
Jesse and Cole both hop out with Stephen Sr. Stephen Jr.'s just sitting in the car breaking his neck, looking around everywhere.
Yeah, so they're fine.
He's got the pretty face though. Who'd you say looks like from Teen Wolf?
Oh, it's Tyler from Teen Wolf. If you guys watch this, it is so distracting how much this man looks like the actor that plays the older mentor werewolf.
He does.
It's wild. But it is about to be planting season, and they are really, really worried that either Mother Nature's not going to work out for him, or it's the deal's not going to go through. And remember, put a pin in this because we're about to move into episode 2, but put a pin in this, in which Galena is heading up this whole deal. A woman that this man is sleeping with, a woman that this man cheated on his wife with, and she is in charge of this entire deal.
I know. I don't remember who says it, but one of the sons says, "Better be nice to Galena."
Yes, and that was the end of the end of episode 1, and they were like, "We gotta be better be nice to Galena," and he's like, "I'm always nice to Galena." Put a pin in that, y'all. We're coming back to it. So episode 2 is called $1 Million Love Triangle. And this is where we really get into the nitty-gritty of what a dick senior is.
Yeah. First things first, he's talking to Galena's daughter, and it's weird.
Yes, and also, too, the music is AI. It's like this hip-hop.
It's like the hip-hop cowboy music.
It is. It's so strange. But he presents as this really good guy. I'll do anything for Galena's daughter. Her name's Arena. She's 21.
He was like, no, I think he literally was, all he said was she's just part of the family, which is just kind of a cop-out anyway to just be like, okay, And
we don't know much about where her dad is or Galena's first husband. We don't know anything about that yet. I imagine we will unfold because that will come later. But we also don't know anything about his wife. And I know I've seen from TikTok that his wife comes in later episodes, later seasons, but we don't know that yet.
Yeah, I want to hear her side of it.
So in episode 2, a new conflict is introduced with the rain. It has been 3 weeks with no rain. And if they do not get rain soon, the whole crop is going to go bad. It's dust out there. And Cole is, everyone says that he's most like their dad, but he's a real
he does. I mean, they show a picture later of what Steve Sr. looked like when he was young. And it is a snapshot of what Cole looks like right now. It's crazy.
And he is, I don't know, he's not the youngest, but I think maybe he reaped the struggles the most because
they even mentioned too though that they started buying up land when Cole was in high school. So they started doing that while he was in high school, and then he was kind of a troublemaker in town, so that all of that kind of combined was there's the McBees.
And there's one episode later where he mentions that he was the star quarterback for 2 years, which if you guys have ever watched an episode of Friday Night Lights, you understand that that's a big deal in this particular culture. But the rain is the thing. But do they stay at home and just, really bear down on the thing. No, they do not. They are in the streets.
I was going to say, it goes straight into us meeting Brooke,
Yeah.
Steve's number 2 girlfriend.
Now, right before we meet Brooke, though, we get this confessional of Galena saying that Steve Sr. is her person, that she doesn't want anyone else, and that he's the only one for her. And this man stays crossing boundaries.
It's not fair. We can't be out and about in like public. Yeah. And he's like, we're out right now. And I know he was like, we're out right now.
Well, she makes a lot of apologies for Steve Sr. Brooke does. She makes, it's just not fair to us. I just wish Galena wouldn't act like this. Meanwhile.
Which is toxic woman behavior.
Yeah.
Blaming the woman, not the man.
Meanwhile, Galena is pretty much performing like a wife. Even though Steve Sr. says he has told her he doesn't want to be with anybody. He doesn't want to be in a relationship.
And Brooke is literally just like, yeah, I know you told me that. I know that. I'm not mad about that. But she seems like she is, like, pitting it. It was just like, I don't know. And it was just not a cool situation.
And the show does a lot of parallel work between, like, Steve Sr.'s relationships and the kids. And so then we get Junior. He really likes where him and Kala are. Kala lives in Texas. I think that she's in Fort Worth, which is also like, like a couple of hours drive. But we learn that Steve Sr. does not like her at all. He really finds her.
Yeah, he says the first time he ever met her, she was blackout drunk, being carried out by the bouncer, and that she just like doesn't really have any like farmhand ability. She doesn't really know anything. She doesn't like to get her hands dirty.
He says there is not a single good characteristic about this woman.
He says he's not a good spouse for Steven Jr.
I have learned though, Steve Sr. is jealous of anything that is taking time away, taking attention away. He wants his children, his sons, to be completely devoted to him. Nothing else matters besides his relationship with them. And any sort of romantic relationship is stealing from him and his perception. So he wants to break them up. He wants the boys all to himself.
I know. I literally wrote down, because I think Steve Sr. was talking to Steve Jr. just about his relationship with Kyle. Just bring her around more. And I was like, okay, maybe he's a shit person, but not a shit dad. And then psych, 2 minutes later, it was him just saying some fucked up shit. I was like, damn, got me on that one.
He's not a good dad at all. And
he just wants some running buddies.
That's exactly what he wants. And I try to sort out like the hierarchy, like who's his favorite, because they stay clowning on Junior.
I was about to say, because Steve Jr. stays in the office. He's the office guy. He's the CEO.
He has an MBA.
Yeah, and then Jesse, I have their literal titles right here. Jesse is operation manager and utility player, and then Cole is a manager and rancher. So like, I feel like Cole kind of might be his favorite if he would just shut up sometimes, because like he works in the fields, he does the stuff, and then Jesse's just so good and sweet. I feel like he's like, whatever.
I bet.
And then I feel like he wants Steve Jr. to be more like
I think Jesse's probably his mommy's favorite. If I had to guess.
For sure. I don't know, probably Brayden, but probably because he's still young.
We meet Brayden later, and I have some questions. There's some. They on Father's Day later, and they talk about the timing, and the timing is really confusing to me, because Brayden talks about he never went out to the farm when he was younger. He stayed home with his mom and was raised by his mom. But if they've only been divorced 2 years, they didn't live on the farm?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, because their houses... Because they all live in houses near each other.
Right, but on the farm. But Brayden doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were like separated. We need to look and get
I really was just taking it from what the show was telling us, because Brayden was talking about he didn't feel close to his dad, and Steven Jr.
I assume he wasn't really around a lot.
But why not? He's not that much younger, and they were still married.
No, I'm saying like Steve Sr. I'm saying Steve Sr. probably wasn't around a lot. Like, he was probably working, out juking and all this stuff, and probably was around more when the other boys were little, because there's that age gap. So if he's 16 in 2023 and Cole is 23,
that's 16 in 2023?
I think that's what they said.
I thought he was 18. I don't know.
We need to do
TBD on that one, y'all. We'll get back to you on that one. But it just feels like Cole... He says this outright. My voice never gets heard. And he says this thing too where I kind of disagree. He said, look, I could hire somebody to do the office work, but nobody knows how to do the hands-on stuff like I do. And he's kind of insulting Junior a little bit, which I don't know if that's true because that kind of stuff is really complicated as well. Like the idea that Steven's getting all of these deals and he's all the numbers and all of the...
Yeah, so Brayden is 23, Cole is 26, Jesse's 29, and Steven is 33 right now.
Okay.
Right now.
So
3 years ago, Steven was 30, Jesse was 25 or 26, Cole was 23, and Brayden was 20. But see, I was gonna say they make it out like it's a big age gap in between them. And then that's why I assumed because they kind of like mentioned about his like high school stuff. That's why I assumed he was like 16, and 16 to 23.
Well, he's a big 16-year-old if that's the case.
Well, 16 to 23 is kind of a big age gap. You know what I mean?
It is, but the way they talk about how, because Steven Jr. even talks about how, Dad really wants to be closer to Brayden. He really wants to have a better relationship, and Brayden just does not seem interested in that at all. And so later on, Brooke, Steve Sr. and Steven Jr. go out. This is so awkward. First off, she's low-key flirting with him.
Well, not until Steve Sr. walks away and is flirting with these 19-year-old or maybe hopefully 21 in the bar.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But 21-year-olds that are just like, out for their like bachelorette party or whatever.
And it's like the boys they work so hard to impress their dad and like maintain that. It's like any other dynamic, the son would be like, this is weird. I feel uncomfortable. I would like to go somewhere else. But this is where Steve Jr. admits that he learned how to two-step because he took dance lessons for 8 months.
Yeah, and tell everybody he was going to the gym.
Yeah. But he has fucked these boys up so bad about marriage. I mean, so bad. Cole...
Because in this scene, it's cutting between Cole and then them. And Cole is like, I'm doing a romantic gesture. Brought his girlfriend 2 out of 4 Reese cups. From his day at work.
Oh, and a half-eaten pizza. That's right. And they've been together 5 years. So since high school in this moment, they do not live together. And she only stays a few nights a week, very similar to the relationship with Galena. And they are not official. They break up and go off. But sit in that for a second, because Cole, in the next episode, very soon, I'm going to talk about that. They go to Fort Worth, and then we'll come back to that in a second. Right. But while Senior is out, he's ordering shots for women, and he's flirting, and right in front of Brooke. This woman, I have a feeling, too.
She used to be on drugs.
Well, Nolan has that theory. I also have a feeling.
She has that, like, old meth mouth thing.
Yeah, I think he's also helped her out a lot financially.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is where Brooke starts to talk to Junior about Galena. And it's like, I just wish that she would get herself together. And this is where she says, this makes me like gag.
Cringe, gross.
She wants to get laid by her dad.
No, she says, I just need to be touched or something.
Yeah.
Something weird and gross that wasn't like, right like that.
She says flat out that she wants to get laid, right? And Cole is very similar. He's been very influenced by their dad. And in this moment, because they're bouncing back and forth what you said, but in this moment at this table where Brooke is talking to Junior about it, he is so embarrassed. He wants the earth to open up and swallow him. These boys have probably been in the middle between their dad and either their mother or his girlfriend for their whole life. And that is a real parentified situation. Like, you cannot be your children's best friend. When you have to draw a line. And this woman's sitting there talking about how she needs to be touched
by his dad.
Gross.
Disgusting.
Absolutely. So they have planned a trip to Fort Worth.
I would say, but really quick, I just wanted to mention too, like in the Cole like flip scenes where like, it's Steve Sr. and Steve Jr. and Brooke all thing, and it's flipping between that and Cole and his girlfriend have had kind of a rocky relationship. They've been on and off, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he mentions about a catfishing thing and how much she loved going catfishing. She said, we've never been catfishing before. And he's like, ooh.
Yeah.
So like, they've had a bit of a tumultuous relationship as well.
She was
obviously that he's cheated on her too.
Yeah, and they break up. Well, they break up and get back together. And he was like, "Remember that time that I took you with the Newton or the gig?"
Fun.
She was like, "That wasn't me." Yeah. So that was a little bit of a summation of
Cole
it, how it
is
was.
very, very similar to his dad.
And
we see more of that next episode.
Yeah,
for
we do.
show, for sure.
Because they're going to Fort Worth. And this whole trip to Fort Worth is about for them to, like, something about a superior herd or something. But
yeah, Longhorns.
Yeah. Steve Jr. is 28, and that is so young to be in charge of so much.
Right, he's a CEO.
What the fuck does Steve Sr. do?
That's what I was
besides like fuck women and
that's what I was saying, because
trouble.
you don't ever see him really you see him on a horse a few times. We don't ever see him in a tractor. You don't ever see him burning the fields with him. You don't ever see him in the office sitting down. You know, he's always going and doing and, you know, chit-chatting ladies up. But I guess that's, if you start a business and leave it to your kids, I mean, I guess that's what you do.
But his children are all under 30. That just seems wildly irresponsible. In fact, their entire life seems so irresponsible. Like, the way that they're pressuring Junior to come, like, come on, man. He's like, no, I really need to stay. I've got this inspection happening.
They're planning a trip to Fort Worth to go pick up Longhorns because that's their new business revenue, like a new revenue stream for them, because car washes aren't bringing in a lot of money yet because they just opened in the last 6 months. So they're trying to get things, because apparently Longhorns, they breed really well, they last a really long time, and they sell really well. Yeah.
There's a lot of ranch cattle business baked into. Like, we even learned to, like, when they're pulling these trailers to Fort Worth, they get like 9 miles a gallon when they're pulling the trailer.
That's the map that we did, was from where are they? Missouri to Fort Worth. We did the math. It was like hundreds of miles plus the gallon. It was like it was
hundreds of dollars in fuel to get there and get back, pulling all these Longhorns. So
and then right when they're about to leave to go to Fort Worth, Steve Jr. is like, I'm just going to fly in the morning and Cal's going to pick me up, which they preface that this is a boys trip only, so no other girlfriends are going. So the girlfriends are a little upset about that. Yeah. But right before they leave, Steve can't go because they're having an audit.
Junior.
Yeah, Steve Jr. can't go because they're having an audit, which was apparently like a really intense one, which, why are they getting so many audits?
They are giving him such shit for staying behind.
But like, he's handling business.
Exactly.
Like, so who else is going to do it?
They leave without him, and on the road while they're driving, just constantly complaining about Kala. And I have a feeling, Nolan, and this may be controversial, you may can contradict me on this, but I think that I have a feeling that Steve Jr. and Jesse really want to do right. They want to be good to these women. But if they do, they feel judged by their dad. They feel like their dad is going to be like, okay, pussy whips, motherfuckers, you're out here, whatever. And that's just a really hard thing to live up to, because their dad is so judgmental and so controlling. He is so controlling. I mean, except when it comes to the business, and he's completely hands off. Right. So, like, maybe we should shift some of this control, some of this micromanagement to the job and let these men live in their life.
Right, because while they're in the car, Steve Sr. is justifying Cole's, I'm just friend. I mean, I'm not, there's no label on my girlfriend, because he's justifying all of it, because he's doing the same thing. They've been together for 5 years.
And then 5 years, and they're not even official.
Literally.
What are these women doing?
I was going to say, and then they straight cut to Jesse's introduction of her girlfriend and how they've been together for 10 years and still no ring.
And listen.
And that poor girl, I mean, all she just wants is a ring on her finger.
And I'm going to say something. This is not nice. This is not nice, and my apologies. I never want to, downgrade a woman, but I think they got together in high school, and they probably were kind of like on even keel. And then Jesse, the older he gets, which happens a lot with men, the older he gets, the more handsome he gets. And Allie is aging.
They did say too that Jesse has grown into his looks. Yeah. And I mean, he is real
He's
good
looking. Handsome. All three of them.
Real good.
I mean, Cole less so, but Jesse and Steve Jr.,
I don't know. Steve Jr. looks a million years old. He does not look
you and I disagree on this, because he is the kind that I would probably let be mean to me back in my 20s. This man would be mean to me, and I would be like, sure, thank you, sir, can I have another?
Because they show pictures of what Jesse looked like in high school with his girlfriend, and she looked really pretty, and he was, cute, but he's getting a lot better, and she's not.
She's fine. Yeah. But he is a very handsome man. And that also, she mentions it too, about how, obviously Jesse is very handsome, so he goes all these places without me, and women are throwing themselves at him. He seems like the best one of the bunch, though.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
But so they go to the rodeo, and these folks, party so
I know.
hard. Nolan.
Cole's like, you got some Red Bull for that vodka? They're like, yeah, we have Red Bull. He's like, bring it. I'll pay for it.
They are getting lit.
Right. And Cole gets drunk and starts saying, he's talking out of his butt saying, I could run this business. I can make it better.
100% better in a year.
No, he said 50% better in a year, 100% in 2 years.
That's right.
100% better.
And
you've already been working there for 4 years.
Sir, calm down. And so, like, obviously the best place to talk about succession and money is drunk at the rodeo. But I'm going to tell you, Steve Sr. ain't having that shit.
No.
And Steve Jr. kind of quizzes him, like, hey, what would you do if A, B, and C happened? What would you do with X, Y, and Z? And he's like, bleh, bleh, bleh. Yeah. And at first, Senior comes in diplomatic. He's like, listen, everyone's got their own skill set. You know what? Everybody's gonna find it. And then he gets mad and he was like, motherfucker, I've been digging ditches since I'm 12 years old. You better get some more grit.
When did you start digging ditches? You ain't never dug a ditch. I dug a ditch when I was 12 years old.
And I just wrote, these boys are scared of them because they clam up immediately.
Yeah. Cole stops talking immediately and is just like, okay, yeah, yes, sir. And then when he walks away, he's like, we're talking about Galena, something about Galena underneath his breath. I was like, didn't say that when he was standing there.
I mean, they are afraid. And we see later, this is later on in the season when Senior gets real mad and remember the Nashville house? This is later. But they are very afraid of them. And, but they are going to this concert, and it's just such a big show. And
who was it?
Dustin Lynch. Dustin Lynch is having a real good moment right now on Bravo.
Bravo's hyping him up.
That's right, because he was on In the City. He went out with Lindsay Hubbard. He has been in on a couple of episodes of this. Like, he's really doing a thing. But they go out.
Yep, and Cole Cole promptly finds him a girl. Very promptly.
This is so hard to watch.
And Mom said this too, that like this is their first season, so they're not super hyper aware of what they're doing, which I thought was interesting because like, probably next season they're not going to be going out and like dancing with girls because, they have a girlfriend at home. But this season they're just doing whatever they want because they don't know the repercussions of like being on TV yet.
Yeah, because typically any other weekend that they go out, they are doing whatever they want. There's no cameras following them. There's no possibility of their girlfriends watching them do this later on. And so this is my favorite part of season one, like first seasons of things, because we are seeing them at their absolute least performative selves. And Cole dances with a girl. He goes home, but then he just
but he's so he's doing it, and then he said he does the girl asked if he knows how to two-step, and I was like, damn, if only Steven Jr. was there. But then he's like getting real drunk, and he's talking to himself. He's drunk, he talks to himself, and he's like, just leave, just turn around, just walk away from her, just leave.
I'm the best guy I know. I'm a king. I should be a crown for what I'm doing. And meanwhile, Jesse's pep talking him too. He's like, man, I'm real proud of you for not fucking this girl you met in the bar while your girls at home.
Right.
We're like, high five.
Jesse's just sweet, I think. I think he was just drunk and didn't want to egg him on anymore, but Cole really thought that he made he really thought high of himself that he walked away from this girl while his girlfriend's at home probably cleaning his house.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where we leave episode 2 and go into episode 3 called Busted. You guys can probably imagine what is happening here. So Allie's at home with a snake, very low, silly stuff. Just calls Jesse. He's very sweet, and we like him a lot. Tressa, like I said, was giving Teeter energy. She's like, you better call me, Cole. You better not be doing nothing I ever said. I'm going to tell you, this is crazy. You better be acting right. She's giving like real Teeter energy. But they go to the Dustin Lynch concert again, or something else, and they're at Fort Worth. And they go to the same bar they were at, and the girl from the night before is there too. They feed off each other. They think they're such big shots, and they're just walking around like they are these giant fish in this giant pond. And it's just, it's not real. It's not authentic. But there's another scene between Jesse and Cole where he's like rationing shots. He's like, listen, we're going to be here for 40 more minutes, man.
You need to watch how many you drink.
You can have 2 more shots, and then we got to go, because Jesse says that Cole goes from 0 to 100, and that him and his dad feed off each other.
Which is very true.
Which is a wild thing to say about a dad and son. But the girl comes up and he's like, there's my girl. That is not how you talk to a stranger. No. And Jesse says, Cole will choose the wrong one faster than anybody. He's going to do the wrong thing no matter what.
And Jesse, too, he was like, God, if he walked away from the first time, it's going to be hell trying to do it a second time.
And Senior says, Cole just hadn't been humiliated enough. We're just going to let it play out.
Probably true.
I mean, sure. People with money often do not.
And then leaves her when she goes to the bathroom.
Look.
She even says, you're not going to leave,
You're not going to leave, right? And he does. He hightails it out of there.
Smart. You know what I mean? If you couldn't do it to her face, might as well do it when she's not there.
But Nolan, the real embarrassing thing in this weekend is that Steven Jr. ordered 4 pizzas back to the room and ate all of them by himself. This man ate 4 pizzas, which he probably works out 8 hours a day, but he ate 4 pizzas.
Well, this is 2-step class.
And they are hung over. They are feeling like whodunit. They got like an 8-hour ride.
They get up super early.
Yeah. And it's Mother's Day. Because they go to buy this calf and there's this whole thing.
Because they go by the Longhorns hung the hell over.
Yes. Yep.
So
like, Happy Mother's Day. And Cole is sitting there just having flashbacks of his bullshit behavior. You know, and Jesse, I love him. I think he's my favorite.
I think he for sure. He's the only decent one.
But Steve Jr. is so handsome, and he's so Dudley Do Right. He's so Dudley Do Right. He just wants to like be.
That's what just makes it.
I know,
cringe.
But you know, he just wants so bad to just be loved. But Jesse says, "Yeah, man." We were about to send you over to that street preacher and take a picture of you and send it to Al or send it to Casey and be like, listen, he's asking for forgiveness. Because this man clowned her, Nolan, made her look like a real dummy for the whole world.
I want to see like her in season 2 reacted to like everything. Like,
I wonder if they have a reunion.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. There is because. Spoiler alert right now. Sorry, when I looked up their ages. Cole has a daughter now that's 1.
So does Jesse,
and
too,
Jesse
I think.
does
yeah.
too. Yeah.
So they're with the same one.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're still together unless, he got a new one. But
I think it's the same one, what are these women doing? No one.
I mean,
what?
they don't have jobs. We talked about this too. They're never going and doing anything. So, I mean, if you're going to...
I mean, I guess, but like
be clowned for money, be clowned for a roof over your head, I guess.
But like, if I'm gonna be clowned for money, it ain't gonna be for some white lump of potato like Cole. He is a potato.
Yeah.
But this is where Senior says this weird thing about the first generation earns it, the second generation maintains it, and the third generation loses it. This is some white American bullshit.
I was going to say, that is the thing that I have heard just, through my conspiracy TikTok videos of like, going through whatever. But that's usually how it works though, because it's like the middle and they get like the second generation, they get comfortable, they don't like redo it. And then the third ones come in entitled and think that they don't have to work for the money that they have and they just lose it all.
This is some American dream bullshit though. This assumes a lot of baked in privilege. Like, I bet none of these boys have ever had to wonder how Bill gets paid. They've never had to wonder.
They said, which I mean, I guess they were really little, but whenever they said that whenever they were very little, they all lived in a house in 1 bedroom.
Yeah, but they tell a lot of different stories. It's a lot of conflicting things about how, well, the boys came and worked on the farm, but oh no, we were poor. And I was digging ditches when I was 12. So there's a lot of conflicting stuff about their lore.
Yeah.
I bet season 2 is going to flesh it out a little bit more, especially as our internet sleuths get to work on this stuff. But when they all get back, Galena pumps Senior for details. She's trying to be cool girl about it. She
tries.
She's like, this could be the juicy details. And he's like, no,
I don't want to. You'll kill me.
Allie's annoyed that Callie got to go. And this is where she says that thing about how Jesse's so handsome. And so she's obviously insecure about it. And I'm telling you, even if the most beautiful woman is going to have feelings about her handsome man going out, especially when he's hanging out with Cole, Steve Sr., and then, cousin Tyler or whatever from Teen Wolf. Y'all got to go watch Teen Wolf. You'll see.
So good.
But this is where Casey, this is some real produced shit right here, where he comes in, Casey's like, let me tell you what I heard. Me and my girl Erica were at a bar, and some dude...
her friend told your friend that told my friend who told my cousin that you were doing this.
That about Brooke and Senior. You can't tell me that these boys are not talking to these women about their dad's shenanigans. They know it all. Cole acts like he doesn't know, but, Casey knew too.
He's like, man, I don't know. Yeah, but...
And the amount of time these folks spend together, like you and I spend a lot of time together, but these folks...
I mean, they work together. They live on the same, like, plantation area together. They live on, I guess, the farm. They live everywhere. I mean, they do everything together. They go out together.
Later, Calla says that Steve Sr. calls Steve Jr. 30 times a day. That is wild work. Like, you and I talk a lot. We text a lot. That is wild work. And that is
Maybe it's like they don't text and he just calls when he needs something. Because I feel like if you added up all of our texts that we text throughout the day, probably about 30 times.
Maybe 30 texts is different than 30 phone calls, I guess. You're right. But Steve Jr. is sitting around with Calla, and I think he calls, and the other brothers are hanging out with their dad. And it kind of becomes apparent that the dad doesn't want to hang out with Calla. So they have this whole conversation, and Calla's like, listen, man, you got to stop talking to your dad about our problems.
Because he takes your side and shit talks me and then makes you think different of me. Yeah.
And Steve Jr. says this thing where, my dad is just an easy person to vent to. I bet. Because he always takes your side. Exactly. And it's just, I don't know, it's just this weird friction between the person that you love, the person that you're with, and your parents. Like, you just never want that to happen, right? Like, you just never want it.
It's awkward for sure.
And then in this next scene, they're looking at houses in town, and Jesse's new house is within a football's throw of Senior's. This man cannot let them go 1 minute without it. Like, And
that new house is nice.
Yes. And this is also, too, where Senior says that Allie, which is Jesse's girlfriend, which is confusing, too, because Braden's girlfriend is also named Allie. But Jesse's girlfriend, he says that Allie is intimidating and that Senior definitely wouldn't want her mad at him. Why?
Yeah,
what's the difference? Yeah, what's the difference in...
Maybe because she's been around so long, she knows all the juicy lore, maybe? That's what I was thinking, that maybe she knows some stuff that, nobody else does.
And maybe he doesn't clock her as much of a threat because they've been together so long or whatever. I don't know. But we get a little peek into what these kids' lives were like. And Jesse was like, if I marry Allie, I really want it to be cool. There was a lot of screaming going on in my house and a lot of throwing stuff. And so we get a real peek into what these boys' life was like. And then later, Steve says that he has to mediate between his dad and his mom, too. So we get a sense.
It can never, ever be good. Like, you can't do that. It's so much pressure and just stuff between it. Like, a kid having to mediate their parents is, like, the worst thing you could ever imagine, I feel like.
Senior tells a different story, too. He says that the divorce was shell shock for the boys and that they were just devastated that him and his wife were divorcing.
Maybe they just thought they would tough it out, but
no, I think
he's like saving face.
He's delusional. Like, those kids, if Jesse's talking about how he saw screaming and throwing things, and Steven Jr. is talking about how he had to mediate, Steve Sr. is remembering his experience in his marriage very different than those boys experienced it. And I think there is a real disconnect. And if they even got one minute of therapy, there would be a real revelation. They would reveal the distance between what Steve Sr. experienced and what those boys did. But of course, they'll never get any theories.
Yeah,
they'll never get anything in that. So there's this whole bit where there's this business meeting and there's a lot of pressure. They do that opening where Steve Jr. arrives in a helicopter.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. They don't act like they're wanting for money or they're stressed about money. He shows up to a car wash open, the second one.
Yeah.
Car wash up to the second one in a helicopter when they're trying to beg for $105 million.
He calls it brand exposure. It's really good brand exposure for him.
Well, did they have the brand name on the helicopter? Because I don't think they did.
And that's what I said, too.
I don't think they did.
But he wants everyone to be talking about McBee. Sir, everybody is talking about you.
And it's not good.
And it's not great. Yeah. But then they're forever clowning Junior, though. Jesse's like, listen, man, I can count on one hand the times this man's been to this car wash. So it's real weird that he's here in a helicopter giving a speech. Like, it's strange. But Senior's still talking up and being impressed by Galena. Okay. So this is one of 2 dates. In these first 5 episodes, him and Galena go on a date. This is where she's dressed up. This man is in a t-shirt and jeans. He takes a call from Cole on their date, and she's just looking at him with real moony-eyed. And, he's like, I gotta go. We're done here. Have
Yeah,
dinner.
like, you're good, you're full, I'm out.
Yeah. She's so
You got the
dressed
bill?
up. Yeah. She's so dressed up and excited.
Still no makeup on.
And he says things like, I think the world of her.
Like a friend.
Yes.
Like they're
And
friends.
she's just a good human. And we have a
She's
mutual...
a really hard worker.
That's right. We have a mutual understanding. No, you do not.
No, you don't.
No, you do not.
You have a mutual understanding with yourself, but she's not in that.
She's sitting here looking at him with heart-eyed emoji talking about, yeah, when we get home, I'm going to hubba. And he's like, yeah, well, you're good at spreadsheets and stuff. Ma'am, I need you to read this room. This man does not want you. I mean, he wants you.
He wants you to do the work.
Exactly.
And be there when he's a little horny. But
so uncomfortable to see the disproportionate affection that they're giving. Like, I'm just like, oh, girl.
I know. I mean, I'm really excited for season 2.
And so here's where she goes to the body shop. After this romantic dinner, y'all, this is a real reveal. So Galena had taken her Escalade to the shop because there was a scratch on the side. So she put it in the body shop, said, hey, I need you to buff it out.
All of these cars are under Steve McBee's title.
I assume so. So while the Escalade is in the shop, side piece number 1 thinks it's being fixed. Side piece number 2, car breaks down and she needs a vehicle. So the Mensa president, Steve Sr., says, hey, go pick up Galena's Escalade from the shop.
Why?
And you can drive it. What happens, Nolan?
Gets in a wreck immediately.
And I'm not talking about a fender bender. I'm talking about
front destroyed,
yes,
totaled,
crunched in. And so Galena goes to check on her vehicle. It's like, hey, about how much longer? She
looks at it. I don't think I've ever seen somebody turn so white before.
Yeah. She said, whose vehicle is this? Whose is this? And then supposedly the body shop guy was like, yeah, female, dark-headed female with tattoos came in this and this.
She's like, what? Eye twitching.
and so she sends all of these really nasty text messages to Steven. He does not call Galena first. He calls Tessa. You caught, buddy. You caught. Tessa is openly laughing at him. She's like, oh, this gonna be bad. Good luck, bossy poo. Good luck to you. And it is so bad. So, this is so bad. So this episode ends with him walking in and he is mildly sheepish, right? She knows it's Brooke. And so she says, please explain. That's how episode 3 ends. Episode 4,
I know I really enjoyed the cliffhangers that they gave and stuff with this show. I guess whoever was producing the first season understood the assignment because every episode is ending really well with a new thing to click you into episode.
But also too, we have them available. We're not having to wait a week apart too. So that's really easy for us to say. But episode 4 is called The Ultimatum. So we pick up right at Galena's. She's so mad. And he was like, listen, man, I'm just trying to help us solve a situation. I'm just trying to make it right. She says, yeah, for your whore. And she's just like...
Steve's just sitting there God.
I know,
he's like, God, man, why? Honestly, he's probably like, why did I do that? But why does she care?
Yeah.
Girl, why does she care?
She asked a real legitimate question. She said, could you show me any more disrespect? And he says, no. No, I mean, he's cold.
Because he's right. Cold. What else? What more disrespect could you do than giving your girlfriend's car to your other girlfriend, not tell her, and then her wreck it?
Wrecks it, and
that is some shit.
She's like, "Are you together with her?" He's like, "I'm not together with anyone."
What is accent that you're doing?
I don't know. It's coming in and out. Russian is hard for me. And so she says, "I hope no other woman ever gets treated this way. It's never in this situation." And that's when his switch flips. He says, well, then remove your fucking self from it then.
He has a quick fuse. Mm-hmm. He'll put up with a little bit, but then as soon as he says something that clicks with him or triggers him into something that his wife probably said, his ex-wife probably said, he's like, oh, hell nah.
Yeah. And then she says something that was the absolute most shocking thing of the whole episode. She says, I've reached my limit for the first time. I'm sorry, ma'am. The first time? This is the first time? No. So she's livid. She calls Steve Jr. again. Nobody has a boundary within eyesight. She calls his son to complain about him.
And he's just like, oh,
Yeah. What is he going to do? He's like, yeah, I can't always take my dad's side. This is really bad, but I really got to keep Galena happy. You know why? Because there's $105 million that this woman is trying to secure.
I think that they're also underestimating Galena. Like, I don't think that she would jack this deal up over man. She owns 10% of this company. If they go down, she goes down too.
Yes.
So I think they're really underestimating by saying that. But also, valid to be scared.
Yeah, I think Galena is smarter than they are giving her credit for too. So we'll see in season 2 how it plays out, because I'm very, very apt to see how it works out. But Tessa, again, and Jesse, they're just hot gossiping. Everybody's dishing. Like, oh my God, did you hear about this shit that your daddy did? That's so stupid. Your dad's side chick wrecked his main chick's car, because it's toggling between Jesse and Tessa, and then Cole and his buddy. And everybody agrees. Senior's real dumb. Real dumb. And like, the idea is that she could blow this whole deal up, $105 million.
Which,
and you're fucking around.
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't they lose the farm and the car washes and those brand new Longhorns that they just bought.
So he calls Brooke. And this woman, I hope she gets some therapy. Brooke, if you're listening, please find a therapist. She apologizes to him. She says, I'm so sorry that I caused these problems for you.
Well, she did wreck the car.
Yeah, but it was an accident. But also, too, sure, everybody's
a little at fault.
Yes, everybody's culpable.
Galena's at fault for, trusting this dumb man. Steve Senior's at fault for loaning out his girlfriend's car to a side piece. And side piece at fault because she wrecked the car.
Yes. But it's so weird.
Rent a car. Ask him to borrow money to rent a car, whatever. But
well, he made the decision to do that, which was so stupid. Yeah. But there's this woman-on-woman crime here where Brooke's like, oh, Galena just needs to get over it. Like, she needs to really just realize what she's doing. Like, she's the bad actor here. Like, she's the problem. No, girl, he's the problem.
Right. And that's kind of one thing that I don't really enjoy that much, is that the women are just kind of coming for each other and kind of cutting Steve Senior like a break, which I don't really appreciate too much.
I don't either.
But I guess that's farm life.
It is. It's also too.
It's also Southern life, but.
And rain. There's no rain. That's also farm life. There's no rain yet in this one too. And that's really ratcheting up
everybody's stress levels.
And $20 million. No rain. If they don't get rain in the next few days, they're going to lose $20 million in crops and stuff.
Right. Because they had just planted a lot as well. It was the most they planted in a while or something.
Yeah. And so that's really kind of, bearing on the situation. I do enjoy Galena, being professional about it. They go to that stupid groundbreaking where she's wearing the wrong shoes, and it's really awkward between her and Steve. And the guy was like, oh, hey, Galena, I love that Jeep. I thought you had an Escalade. She's like, no, I gave it to charity.
At
least she didn't cause a scene about it in front of everybody, which I found that to be very professional. I like that too.
Yeah.
Then flash to Brooke and her friend, and Brooke's like, oh, I just wish Galena would back off. Steve has got such a bad rap about it. It's so bad for him.
But it's I don't understand what she's talking about though, because he's doing the same thing to Galena that he's doing to her. So it's what is she really even talking about?
Well, the friend says, hey man, how do you know that what he's saying to Galena is what he's saying? And she's like, oh, well, that's a good, exactly. But their connection is real, Nolan.
She keeps saying that. I'm like, dude, what? So, y'all are smashing good? What the frick connection do y'all have?
How naive do you have to be? He's going to choose the business. It's $105 million. He's going to choose the business.
And
period. And then they do they went to that, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but they went to the dirt track race. And this is where they're like, fuck you, McBees. When they're walking through, there's nothing to say about it, but their cars didn't win. So, then they are 23 days without rain. And this is what I cannot feel sorry for them. It just says it's 87 degrees with a 0% humidity.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was predicted to be 109 degrees, feel like 109 degrees today.
85% humidity.
It was disgusting.
It was just hot soup out there today. So, but we're not, our livelihood doesn't depend on our crops.
I was going to say, we're not outside working, so thank God.
But I also was like, listen, if y'all don't want folks to yell fuck you, McBee's. Maybe don't walk around with McBee's farm on your shirt everywhere.
Right.
Like, maybe you go.
They do always have their merch on.
Yeah, like
always with the merch. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I need some McBee merch.
Yes, I bet.
Send us some merch.
Yeah, that's right. Give us some McBee's stuff. Which I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna wear McBee's. I don't know how I feel about it. We got to see the rest of the season before we do. But then there's
we should make a shirt, McNasty. What is it? McBee.
McBee Dynasty. No one can get it straight, y'all. She could not get it straight.
It's funny though.
So this is the first sit down between Galena too and Steve Sr. And he told her, this was off camera. He told her that, listen, I hadn't seen this woman in a year. She just randomly called me because she was in a bad place. And I know Galena's like, that's what you want me to believe? That shit is dumb. She says, tell me you've been seeing her. And he was like, okay, I've been seeing her. And then this is smooth. Butter wouldn't melt in this woman's mouth. She said, do you want me to put my resignation in? That's a real veiled threat, right? He's like, no.
Never.
Absolutely
Please stop.
not. And this is where she says, it's her or I. She says it 3 times. And he says, you don't got to repeat yourself to me. And she says, it's her or I.
Well, I'm sure she said that before. So seems like she might have to.
I mean, I don't know, though, because he said, this is the only ultimatum you'll ever get from me. That's the only one you'll ever get from me. You want to say hello, Sheppy?
Hello.
Sheppy's sitting in with us, y'all. And...
you got anything to say about McBee Dynasty?
No. Okay. Well, you can just listen then. How about that?
You saying? That's us talking.
Cole and Jesse are joking about how they're going to get Galena a Hinge account because they want her to get married. And Steve Sr.
I mean, I feel like they really do like Galena, though, you know? And I feel like they think that Galena would be good for Steven Sr. if he would just tighten up.
Right. But he's in his host age.
Oh, yeah. And they even say, too, I forget which boy says it, but it was like, he settled down. Hold on.
I'll say hello on the microphone.
Okay.
Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
That one of the boys even say that he got married so young that he never got it out of his system.
And he got hot later in life. And I'm just going to tell you, I had one of them.
Yeah.
I had one of them who got married very young, was kind of dorky and not as attractive. And then as he got older and closer in his 40s, got really handsome. And so there was a real hoe phase. And that's what Steve's doing right now. He is hoeing around. And, you know, Brooke is younger, but Galena is smarter, and she is got her fingers in all the pies.
Younger by maybe like 4 years.
No, by like 10 years.
She looks like she's lived.
She's a 41. It's a hard 41.
It's very hard.
It's a hard 41 that she's doing. But then he meets her in the damn park. Like, what?
Like, are we in middle school? Like, are we meeting at the park now? Like,
I guess if it's 87 degrees with 0% humidity, you can meet in a park.
Yeah, but I would be sweating my whole entire face off.
And then, again, she apologizes to him. She tells him, I'm so proud of you. I know we can't see each other. Here's a gift, an engraved bracelet to let you know how much I love you and how much I appreciate your stuff. And I was just throwing up in my mouth.
She appreciates that money.
Yeah, and...
because I know for a fact... that he is paying for her lifestyle. She said, I really hope that all the little things I can do for you could measure up to all the big things you've done for me. That means like paying her mortgage. And she means sucking his D, but whatever. Yeah, okay. Well, I think she meant the bracelet that she gave him, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. I mean, he's such a tool though, because in this moment, he doesn't even like seem bummed that she's kind of breaking up. He seems kind of relieved. I think that this man just don't give a shit. I think you might be right. Because also we learned that he has another girlfriend in Nashville. Yeah. Next episode. Yeah. So like he's swimming in women. So then, but I mean, he's handsome. If I saw him out in the park, he's handsome. Well, with the hat on. I mean, yeah, and the hat off is stuff. We forgot to say this, but at the rodeo when he's yelling at them, he's like, "And do you want to get a hairline like this?" Yeah, and lifts his hair up, and it's like, "Ooh, we haven't seen you out the hat on." That's right. It's tough. That was a jump scare. It was a jump scare. It absolutely was. And that episode ends up with her in this like kind of slutty dress, but it's really pretty and really fancy. Not a lick of makeup on, no eyebrows drawn in, that still dumb side ponytail that's not even like combed in. Girl, put on some lipstick. Talking about Galena. Yes, yeah. Galena. Put on some lipstick, okay? But even at this party,
He's
This is where she goes and sits in the car, right?
no, this
sorry,
is the
sorry,
one
sorry.
where it's like a bunch of folks, and he's over there buying shots of rum, and this one walks up to him and says, "Oh, there's my bathroom buddy," which means cocaine, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
for
guess.
sure.
But she says, "I am not naive enough to think I'll be the center of his attention." And
This is where she goes and sits in the car. She goes and sits in the car
Oh, yeah?
at the end. Yeah, because she was going and paying attention to all these women and stuff, and she goes to sit in the car,
okay,
and that's where she says that. Yeah.
well, they wind up in bed together that night. Yeah, and that's how that episode ends. And then episode 5 is called The Wild Wild West. And that's where they take that trip out west. And they're for real cowboys now, right? They're for real cowboys. They go out and they're trying to buy all these bison. I learned a new word, beefalo, is buffalo or bison that has been bred with cow DNA.
Oh, so you can eat it.
Yeah, so you can, so
Right.
whatever, so beefalo. But anyway, they are all on this. And I found this to be endearing. I think this would be a really fun trip. If they weren't such fucking posers, I think that would be nice. But
I know, and like with they even mentioned this too a couple of ago whenever they're talking about how they would lose the farm and how like if corporate were to come in, they're like, oh, like would we stop having to wear cowboy boots and our cowboy hats? Meanwhile, Stephen Jr. has on gray snake skin cowboy boots with his skinny black jeans on. I'm like, you're not traded. Those aren't dirt cowboy boots anyway. Those are fancy cowboy boots.
Driving a G-Wagon. Okay, like, sir,
get
come
out
on.
of here, corporate what?
Before they go, though, this is the scene with the Father's Day, too. And we learned a little bit. This is where we learned about Braden, which we've already talked about that, too. But Cole said something really interesting about how it felt really strange. This is the first Father's Day that Galena was there, and it felt weird to have her doing the thing that their mom used to do. And that was a really interesting thing, like, because there was some overlap.
For sure.
Yeah, I think he cheated with Galena
I mean,
on their
he probably
mom.
cheated a lot of times.
Yes, and I think, but like the fact that he's asking these folks to just be okay with Galena being around, that's wild work. I did a little research here, though. The divorce was finalized in 2019.
Okay, and we're in 2023.
Yeah.
The first episode.
So,
okay. Well, I guess they probably filmed it the year
2022.
before, and then that would have been a year and a half. So yeah, I guess that kind of adds up. So
yeah, but they make it seem like they were so young or whatever.
I guess maybe times are tough.
I mean, I guess
they're probably aging 5 years. I mean, farm work is hard. A year is like 2
yeah. And then they're on their trip and they're all talking. Well, I'm not going to tell the girls. I'm not this. The way they talk about women, it's just like bitches be tripping. Am I right? It's disgusting. It is very Steve Senior coded, but they're all so enmeshed and so codependent, and the way that they need to check in with each other or get each other's approval or talk about their lives, about their dad with each other, it's just like they can't poop without each other knowing like how long it took. And I just find it it's really toxic.
Like they definitely send poop pics to each other.
Yeah, for sure. But,
Mom doesn't like when I do that.
No, nobody would, darling. This is also too when we go the girls on out when we learned that Steven's been sending Calla $20,000 in cash.
Oh my God, yes, the girls' night out. That was a trip to be had. And also Galena, and I don't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing, invited their business partner who they're trying to get $105 million from. They invite the business partner to girls' night. I'll let you introduce us to the girls' night.
Yes, I didn't have much about that. That was like there were some strippers, I think.
Yes,
is this where it was? Because I don't know. I think it might be the one after this one where they do it. Yeah, they meet up after. Because most of this is about them on the trail and they're sitting around with their native guides, and the guides are talking about like I didn't learn to speak my native tongue because of the government and all that kind of stuff. And they act like they're about to get on these horses and locate 100 bison on 3,000 acres when really it's like the native folks and then like the cowboys who are doing it. And they really mention Casey Dutton here, and it's like this guy Zanson, he's the real Casey Dutton of it all.
Yeah.
But they're looking for 100% bison, folks, not beefalo. Not beefalo. Then when they get, so all of that. I wonder
what that tastes like. Is it still, I wonder if it's like tough, because I think bison is a little like tough, right?
No, I think bison is actually supposed to be very, very tender. And I've had one bison burger. I was pregnant with Ethan. It made me so sick. And not the beef of it. I was just sick because I was pregnant. And so I've never been able to eat it again. But they're out here living, their river runs through it. They're bathing in the river. They're looking at the Purple Mountain Majesty. They're sitting around talking to their native companions. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a generational moment. We do meet Steve's brother, Jimmy, and he's the one that says the wrong woman can tear families apart, because men are typically very, very
it's not the one
cohesive.
that tells.
Yeah. This is also the episode where Casey and Cole have a truck bed date where they eat Lunchables.
God, he's trying so hard to do so little.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they tells that whole story about how she friend-zoned him, but he was the start quarterback, so she knew who he was. And, 5 years later, they're official.
Yeah, finally. Thank the Lord for them being official.
The next few episodes that we're going to watch, Tessa gets hurt. This is the end of that. Steve Sr. doesn't want, I don't know that. Oh, doesn't want him booed up. That's what it was. I couldn't tell what it was. Galena moves in against his best wish. Yeah. Apparently, Cole and Junior get into a thing, and then
is that the episodes we're going to talk about next time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then we all talk about who's a bigger train wreck.
Right. And then also our girls' night. We'll talk about that one next, too.
That's right.
I kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
That's okay.
But the episodes kind of split together because they're really just trying to introduce us to everybody really fast. So it's like a lot of like back and forth between, like right now and them talking about how they met and talking about stuff. And so it's really back and forth a lot.
And I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, we really kind of blew through it. We did 5 episodes right now. But, once we get caught up to season 3, we can bear down a little bit more, but stick around, come back. We're going to kind of like give you some more episodes here and there. And then once we get to season 3, we'll for real have some opinions, but don't spoil it for us. Find us at Take a Pino Pod. And
I'll be here for all the McBee episodes.
That's right. I can't commit to a schedule yet because our schedules are so messed up. We've lost Summer House.
I think we're going to
try. We've lost Top Chef.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to like record on Sundays and then maybe have it out.
I hope. Yeah. But because we've got House of Saucy coming up. That's the 29th. And so our schedule is really, really getting mixed up. So y'all just stay tuned. Find us on social media. And always, please, leave us a review. Give us a rating because that's how we get seen. So see you next time on McBee Dynasty.
Bye.